I'm Matt Wyman.
And I'm Matt Romeo.
And this is
Between Two Matts.
So now we're going to, this is part 3, by the way.
Part 3, and we are going to do another film review, but not necessarily a nerdy film. Kind of
It's
nerdy.
kind of manly nerdy.
Manly nerdy. We will be doing our film review of the 2004 film Troy.
Which is starring Brad Pitt and a bunch of other guys.
Based off of the Iliad, and since we're both fanboys of the Iliad, we're going to view this objectively, try not to reference the book, and view this as a film. So here we go. We're going to do our best.
So hard,
and that's what she said.
You took my line.
I took your joke. Okay.
Not fair.
What's one of your primary pros for this film?
Brad Pitt as Achilles is awesome. Mm-hmm. He does a really good job of being Achilles, but also the battles.
Mm-hmm.
The battles were pretty fucking good, especially when they
were well choreographed too.
Yeah,
like the battle between Hector and Achilles.
That was awesome.
One of the coolest choreographed fights.
Wow!
Until I saw Winter Soldier.
Shut up.
Yeah, but it was a good short sword and shield combat. Mm-hmm. Even what they did with their spears was cool.
Yeah.
Like how he was like twirling the spear.
Like it makes you believe that Achilles really is the greatest
fighter of all time. Okay, one of my pros, I'm gonna go off of what you said with casting, is this movie was really cast perfectly. I can no longer picture anyone other than Brad Pitt being Achilles. Hector, almost exactly how he's described. Oh, I referenced the book. Fuck.
It's okay. He looks good.
Paris is this.
It's a whiny bitch.
In the movie, they've established he's a whiny bitch. Orlando Bloom played that pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Helen is gorgeous. Oh
yeah.
My God. I can't remember what Diane Kruger, who plays her. She's beautiful in this movie.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Telamonian Ajax.
Oh my God.
The Tower of Power himself. Row, you lazy
such manliness.
Row. Greeks are dying.
Row.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a fucking line.
The fucking weapon he used was just.
It's totally not what anyone would have used, but it worked.
It worked. Agamemnon was pretty good, but Menelaus was cast perfectly
really
as the king of Sparta.
That's a bad movie.
That's another review for another time.
Yeah, I guess. No.
Okay. Yeah, acting was really good. What are some of your cons for this movie?
One of my main cons is that there aren't any gods.
Well, that's going off of the book.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still Troy. It's still the Iliad.
But
They're gods.
They tried to establish it as a historical event.
Dude, we did the Iliad abridged, and ours had fucking gods in it.
We had gods, although ours was a comedy.
Yeah, but it still had gods.
That's because Professor Wright would have killed us if we didn't include the gods.
Yeah, he would have.
I think we might do a radio rendition of our musical sometime.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time in the land of Troy. But back to Troy.
Back to Troy. There weren't any gods, and when you think like Troy, you think gods.
When you think of Greek mythology in general, you think of gods.
Well, that's what this is. This is a mythological tale. It is. I mean, the sacking of Troy did actually happen, but we're basing it off of the Homeric story. Mm-hmm. So throw some gods in there.
I mean, 300.
Wouldn't it be fucking awesome if Vin Diesel played Zeus?
Oh my God. Didn't we establish that in our musical?
Yes, we did. And it was awesome.
I can totally picture that too.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be fucking cool?
Although now I only imagine Liam Neeson as Zeus after.
No. We are getting so off topic.
Sidetracked. Although Warner Brothers owns the rights to, I don't know if they own the rights, but they produce almost all of these Greek mythology movies, like Troy, 300, Wrath of the Titans, fucking 300. I think I already mentioned that, but back to Troy. One of my cons for this movie, what is one of my cons? Is that, I can't remember what one of my cons is. I guess I would have to say is they didn't give focus to the right characters. It kind of seemed like they didn't have a central character of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
it's clearly meant to be Achilles' story. He's the one that has the most character development in this movie, but then they make it seem like Paris and Helen are occasionally the stars. Then they switch over and make it seem like Hector's the star. And then they switch back over to Brad Pitt, and then it's like...
And then, Agamemnon is a star. He's not the star.
He's not.
He's not the star.
They needed to focus on Achilles and make it seem like this is our character. This is the star of the movie. Give everyone else their own arcs, but don't make it seem like they're having the same character development as he is.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, some of the characters, really shouldn't have died that early.
Yeah.
Ajax is one of them. He's super duper badass.
He died in the most badass way possible.
And he died in the most badass way possible. But like in the Iliad, he has like 2 or 3 more scenes of complete and total badassery.
Basing it on the book,
but still, wouldn't it be awesome if it's him versus like a bunch of other fucking people and he's just knocking motherfuckers down?
Although we kind of saw that in every battle scene he was in.
He's only in 2. He's only in 2 battle scenes.
Yeah, but he's not a central character in the movie. He's like
he's his cousin. He's Achilles' cousin.
But they didn't establish that in the movie. You're basing it on the book.
I know, and it should be based on the book.
The movie, he's big henchman number 3.
He's not a henchman.
In the movie, that is what he's established as.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really sad because Ajax is awesome in the Iliad.
Real quick side note: Sean Bean doesn't die in this movie.
That is surprising. Ned Stark / Boromir does not die in this movie.
It's one of the only roles where he doesn't die.
He didn't die in a brutal way.
Yeah, no, he still is alive.
Although I think people would have torn this movie to shreds if they had killed him, because it's like, no, Odysseus did not die in this movie. Bullshit. Although it kind of
the Odyssey.
Although it would make sense because it's Sean Bean.
Yep.
Okay, so objectively, what's your review of this movie?
Fight scenes, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, like some of them should have been maybe a little bit longer.
Oh yeah,
made it a little bit more interesting. Less talking amongst like the Trojans.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'd give it an 8.
8. Yeah. With the great casting and the great characters, I'm gonna give it 8.2. 8.2, maybe an 8.3, because aside from not getting fanboy stuff on it, it was a good film.
Yeah.
It told a good story. But I think that wraps it up for episode 9. We will continue sometime with episode 10. I'm Matt Romeo.
And I'm Matt Wyman.
And this was Between Two Matts.